we've got another package. And this is probably not what any of you would expect. My channel is 100% Apple based. All of my content, for the most part, is only based on Apple phones, involving fixing them and buying them, even reviewing them, but never anything involving Androids. I just got home from a 2-week trip to China. While I was there, I took advantage of the opportunity to purchase a Chinese phone, and I decided to go with the Xiaomi 17 Pro. This is a phone that I've kind of wanted to get my hands on for quite a while. I remember when it came out, I thought it was really cool that it had a screen on the back where the cameras are on the iPhone 17 Pro. While I had the opportunity, I picked one up. I'm not really happy with the price that I paid for it, even though it was cheaper than in America, but still, I now have one on my desk. Throughout this video, I'll be comparing the device to my iPhone 17 Pro. I picked up the same color as this, the white model, so it should be a pretty simple comparison, and I'm really excited to see how the two compare to each other. Without further ado, I've been waiting way too long to open this up, so let's just get started. Now, the first thing you may notice is the box is extremely long compared to an Apple box. Here's my iPhone 17 Pro box for comparison, and it's literally like double the size. And that's because the way they have it packaged is the phone on one end and the chargers and everything else at the bottom. Much different than the way Apple does it. To open the box, I'll simply pull the pull tab at the top to rip the plastic. And that didn't really work very well. Instead, I'll just use my knife, as that's a lot easier. And like that, the plastic on the back is now free. I can flip over the Xiaomi box and lift up to reveal, any day now, everything wrapped up in white cardboard. I'll put the lid over to the side. So first of all, down at the bottom, you can pull up and you can see included we have a 100-watt charging brick, which is absolutely incredible, especially for the size of it. Taking a look, it does seem to be compatible with the US outlets. It does not have a China-specific adapter, which is very great. The charging cable is a basic USB-C to USB-C cable. It's just a basic rubber cable. It's not braided or anything fancy like Apple does it. Actually, I spoke too soon. It is a USB Type A to Type C. That's nice though. I've been needing another one of these cables. Already off the bat, looking better than the way that Apple does it. They actually give you a brick and charger in the box. Apple just gives you a charging cord and expects you to figure it out on your own. So I'll set the two of these to the side for now. Inside of here, we have a clear phone case. I'll open this up real quick to take a look. Another thing that Xiaomi does different than Apple is including a free phone case so that you don't damage your device. It's nothing too protective. However, it is at least better than nothing. Sliding it out, you can see also included in here is a little quick start manual. I won't be needing that. We also have a SIM card ejector because of course this phone still comes with a SIM card. Another thing that they're doing better than Apple. And here, I'll slide out of the plastic sleeve. This is the basic solid polycarbonate phone case that they include with the Xiaomi 17 Pro. It has a cutout for the cameras and the back screen, along with the ultra wide camera and flash down right below it. It does have an open bottom. It feels very similar to Apple's clear case, although it is considerably thinner than Apple's is. However, it still feels very nice. It feels like it's not going to get too scratched up too quickly. I'll put the case to the side for now, along with my iPhone. And now let's take a look at the Xiaomi 17 Pro itself. You can see the device is wrapped up in some thin wax paper, similar to the way that Apple packages their iPads. To open it, I'll pull the tab and unwrap the paper from the device, making an attempt not to rip it, but I'm not sure how well that's gonna go. There we go. And we can pull out a very nice, clean looking Xiaomi 17 Pro. And I will say, wow, the white on this phone looks absolutely incredible. I didn't get a chance to see the white phone in person in the store. I only got a chance to look at the purple and the green. I saw the white on a dummy model phone. I didn't get to see it on the actual thing. So this is a first for me, and I am really, really liking this. I'm absolutely stunned. The screen, as you can see, has a little bit of dust on it already. Wiping that off, you can see, it may be hard to tell, there's already a plastic screen protector installed on the device, which is very nice. Another big bonus, Apple doesn't do something like this. And it may be hard to tell, but there's also a plastic screen protector installed on the rear glass. This is to ensure that no scratches get onto the back display or the front display during use before you can get your own accessories for the phone. With the phone now out of the box, I'll put some things back in the packaging just to clean up my desk. I do want to try out this clear case before I get the phone turned on. I can take this sticker off later. It's a very, very snug fit. It's actually somewhat difficult to put it into the case, but I've got it. With the phone in the case, it feels a lot thinner than I initially noticed. It feels really nice though, I will say, almost nicer than Apple's clear case. The buttons protrude quite a bit and it makes it really easy to click them. I'll just close up the box for now. And let's go ahead and turn on the Xiaomi 17 Pro for the very first time. We see the Xiaomi HyperOS logo. And wow, that's actually a really nice animation. Now on the setup screen, I can just click the arrow to continue. I cannot read Chinese, so I will need to find a way to set this to English. Let me connect to my Wi-Fi. Now connected to Wi-Fi, I can continue with the setup. I'll leave the text size as is. Agree to sell all my data to Xiaomi. Let's leave all the basic settings on. I don't really want to change too much as I really don't know a lot about this operating system. I might as well just leave everything on. Again, I don't really know what much of this is talking about. I don't have a problem with any of it anyway, so I'll just leave it on. And I don't need to transfer any data from an old device. I'm just setting this up as fresh so that I can test it out. Now, again, I do not have a Xiaomi account, so I'm just gonna skip sign in for now. Just like Apple, it gives me an option to sign in later in settings. Now it does give me the option to set up a screen lock. I do have the under screen fingerprint scanner. I might as well set that up to check it out. Let me set a pin first. So I need to just press my finger here, press and slightly rotate your finger. I stepped away for just a second and it stopped me from setting up the fingerprint, so I guess I'll do that later. Xiaomi comes with its own Hyper Xiao AI. This is their own AI service similar to Apple Intelligence. I don't know a lot about it. Again, this is a whole new experience for me, so I'm gonna need to learn a lot more about how to use all the things on this phone. I will continue though. I will skip setting this up for now as I just wanna get through to the interface. Again, I'll sell my data to Xiaomi. And it's interesting, I didn't realize that they still give you an option to use buttons like they do on the older Android devices. However, I'm so used to the iPhone gestures, I'll just leave it as is. Now, this is the way that Apple does it, having your recent apps stacked like this. However, every time I've ever used an Android, I've just kept it like this. That's what I'm used to on Androids, so I'll leave it on the horizontal option. And now the setup is complete. We can get started. And here we are at the home screen on the Xiaomi 17 Pro. Now that the phone is set up, I finally figured out how to get my fingerprint set up, and I will say it is impressively fast. It is almost instant, no delay whatsoever. As soon as I touch my finger to the right spot on the screen, the phone instantly unlocks. And if I use the wrong finger, for example, it does exactly what it should. It doesn't unlock. If I simply tap twice, maybe more than that, switching back to my thumb, the phone instantly unlocks. Now you can see a lot of these apps are still in Chinese. This is a Chinese ROM on the phone, so a lot of things are going to be restricted, such as Google Play services and a lot of things being stuck in Chinese. But now that I've gotten the phone at least set up, I'm going to spend the next day or so using it and getting used to using the operating system, set it up the way that I like it, and try to figure out how to actually use it, as I have simply never used a Xiaomi phone before. I do not know what all the capabilities are, and I know that it's different from normal Android, so I need to get used to it. Once I've spent a few days using this phone, I'll come back and give my first impressions and actual real thoughts about this. And if I like it enough, I'm gonna consider using this phone for about a month in the real world to see what it's like using it in the United States. All right, it's now been just over a week of having the Xiaomi 17 Pro, and so far I am really enjoying it. I've been using this device as a secondary device for the most part alongside my iPhone 17 Pro. However, just around the house, as I haven't had really much of a chance to bring it out in public yet. But from what I've been using it for, it's been an incredible experience. And the more I've used it, the more I've realized that it really is extremely similar to the way that Apple has their operating system set up. Xiaomi is most definitely, and to be honest, pretty obviously copying a lot of Apple's system and, of course, a lot of Apple's design, and adding their own special twist to it. They've got the home screen widgets like Apple's in 3 different shapes: this rectangle, a small square that's half this size, and a large square that takes up the entirety of this home screen page. Their app icons are extremely similar to Apple's. They have a widgets page in the same place Apple does. However, this one's stuck in Chinese. Their gestures on the home screen are extremely similar, such as bringing up the search. And of course, also, their control center looks very similar to the way that Apple's does. Especially with the new iOS 26, you can really see a pretty strong correlation here. And to be honest, I don't think this is a bad thing. I think this is a great thing in my opinion. As someone coming from using an iPhone, it makes it a lot easier to adjust to using the Android operating system, and it feels a lot less alien than when I used a Google Pixel a couple of years ago as a replacement for my iPhone 14 Pro at the time. I've kept this clear case on the device ever since I unboxed it. I did get the sticker off the back that had the IMEI information, as it definitely looks cleaner without that on there. And throughout my use, I really have no complaints at all. It's a really, really solid phone. Getting one in the US can be kind of expensive. Getting a brand new one can run you up to about $1,100 depending on who you're buying from. But buying a used one, I've seen them go as low as $750, which is about what I paid for this one. I think that the rear screen on this phone is really, really cool. It's something that's extremely unique and something I would never see on an iPhone. I love how the design is similar to my iPhone 17 Pro with the camera plateau at the top, however, with its own special twist. I have not yet gotten all of my system notifications to work with showing up on this rear screen, unfortunately. I'm not sure exactly what the issue is. I really like how I'm able to open up the camera and take high quality selfies with the back camera. I have been testing that out quite a bit with my cat. Coming from someone who uses Face ID on my iPhone, I thought it would be kind of difficult to get used to using the fingerprint scanner. However, I've adjusted very quickly. It's extremely quick and very responsive, and finding the spot on the screen is actually pretty intuitive and is kind of right where my thumb would naturally rest. It does offer a face scan option, however, it is two-dimensional. It doesn't have the 3D scan that Apple does, and it even warns you that it could be unlocked using just a picture, so I opted out of setting that up. Now, I have replaced quite a few of the apps on the device with apps that don't come from Xiaomi, such as the Contacts app, the Music app, of course, for Apple Music, Google Chrome as a browser, Google Play Store as an app store, because the Xiaomi Get Apps application simply doesn't have enough available for me, and the Google Calendar app, as that's just easier for me to use and it's not locked in Chinese. Speaking of locked in Chinese, since this phone is running a Chinese ROM, even with everything set to English, unfortunately, I found two aspects of the system that are locked in Chinese no matter what I do. First off, the widgets page, as you saw earlier, I simply cannot get this out of Chinese. I don't know if I ever will be able to until there's a global ROM available. And also, unfortunately, this search page. The keyboard can search in English and it does come up with results. However, the user interface itself is in Chinese. Speaking of the keyboard, the Xiaomi keyboard that comes installed on the device is not very easy to use and was very confusing. I ended up installing Gboard, Google's keyboard for Android, as that's what I'm used to, and it made it much easier to get used to the device. Also, with the Google Play Store, I have gotten banking apps working, such as Cash App and PayPal, with no issue, which is another thing that I was slightly worried about with using this phone on the Chinese ROM. I do hope that a global or EU ROM comes out in the near future. If so, I will probably make a video installing it on here, as I think that would be interesting and make the phone a bit easier to use. But overall, I'm really liking the device. It's been very easy for me to adjust to, and I'm looking forward to using it for another month or two. As I haven't had much experience using this device out of the house yet, I don't have a ton to talk about with the actual specs and features of it. However, after this video, I'm planning to switch my eSIM from this iPhone 17 Pro over to the Xiaomi with a physical SIM card. I will need to contact my carrier, of course, and I'm planning to use the phone for about a month. After 2 weeks or so, I will be making a detailed review video comparing this to my iPhone 17 Pro and how my experience is using the Xiaomi 17 Pro in the United States with a Chinese ROM. I think that'll be an interesting video, so stay tuned if you're interested, and I'm definitely excited to use this phone more. It's been a really great experience so far, and it's been interesting to use a phone that I'm not used to, especially an operating system that's pretty much completely new to me, and I'm looking forward to learning more about it and fixing some of the issues that I've had so far, which, to be honest, hasn't been very many. So with that, this concludes the unboxing of the Xiaomi 17 Pro. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I definitely had a great time opening this up and getting to know it. Expect more content coming very soon about the Xiaomi 17 Pro. I'm excited to use this phone some more, and I hope you guys are excited to see more about it. So if you guys are new here, please consider subscribing to my channel, as of right now, only 20.4% of my viewers are actually subscribed. So if you haven't already, please consider smashing that subscribe button. It would really help me in reaching my goal of 25,000 subscribers before September, and it just helps me to continue making more videos like these. Thank you. I also can't forget about membership shoutouts, so huge shout out to these 6 members. I will leave a link down in the description to all 6 of their channels. If you didn't know, I do have channel memberships. There's a link in the description if you're interested. It costs $1.99 per month. You get this cool badge next to your name. And of course, it just helps me to continue making more videos like these. Again, huge shout out to these 6 members. I really appreciate y'all. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. More content coming very soon. And as always, peace out, guys.